commands and instructions, generation after generation, all the way to us. I am both surprised and saddened that a group of Muslims who envision themselves as not being blind imitators criticize the festival of the birthday of the Messenger, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. They say that they only accept the Quran. They say that they do not follow the first generations of Muslims, nor the great religious leaders, the mujtahid imams who founded the schools of the law. The reply that can be given to this group is that by following the Quran, can one recite a single canonical prayer or pay zakat? Although the Quran declares that one must perform canonical prayers and pay zakat, neither does it give the number of rakats of our prayers, nor the minimum amount of a commodity on which zakat should be paid. None of these details are in the Quran. The same holds true for many religious responsibilities that derive from the principal religious duties and essential aspects of Muslim life, such as marriages. The companions, successors, the chief legal scholars of the first generations of Muslims, may God reward them with goodness, recorded and explained the principles and particularities of the derivatives of the divine commands and the way that the Prophet ﷺ lived. This group, even though they see themselves as not being blind imitators, nevertheless at the same time they themselves follow a particular person. It is important to take note that around the year 1300 after the Hijrah, this person's own father and his brother cursed him and repudiated him. They repudiated him because of his false and corrupt words and actions that disbelievers had directed and encouraged so as to create schisms and disunity among the Muslims. Can someone who appeared 1300 years after the Hijrah perceive Islam better than the companions, successors, and greatest scholars of the law, whose vast knowledge and piety enabled them to make legal judgments? Is such a person better able to interpret and comment on the Quran? Were people like Imam Ja'far Sadiq, Sheikh Hassan al-Basri, the greatest legal scholars, and those who followed, such as Muhammad Ghazali, Junaid Baghdadi, and thousands like them? Can these people be considered to be polytheists, to be among those that worship gods besides God? Have they not perceived Islam and the true teachings of Islam correctly? In order to understand this divergent group that criticizes the festival of the birthday of the Prophet, the words well known among the Arabs apply. Don't ask about the man, ask about his friends. It is sad to say that some superficial scholars who follow the doctrine of this group are silent and make no criticism at the anniversary of rulers having assumed power on their birthdays. It is sad to say that some superficial scholars who follow the doctrine of this group are silent and make no criticism at the anniversary of rulers having assumed power or on their birthdays, at which time huge amounts are spent from the treasury of Muslims in order to have a festival with splendorous ceremonies. Yet they consider the festival of the birthday of the greatest divine messenger to be an innovation and to be prohibited, the very messenger about whom God declared, "We only sent you as a mercy for the beings of the world." All of these divergent thoughts, deviations from the correct path, and breaking from tradition that have appeared in various periods of Islamic history derive from the neglectfulness of Muslim rulers and governing councils. Specifically, these Muslim rulers and councils allowed people with false doctrines, together with their followers, to take root. Sadly, the bitter fruit deriving from these roots is now clear and obvious. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam declared, "What I fear most for my people are evil scholars." Since the subject we are discussing is the festival of the birthday of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his veneration, it is not inappropriate to mention a few lines from the poetry of Sheikh Sa'di of Shiraz. God praised and venerated you. Gabriel humbly kissed the ground to magnify you. The high heavens are ashamed before your stature. You were created when Adam was still between water and clay. From the beginning, the origin of existence was you. Everything that came into being derived from you. I do not know what to say about you, since you are beyond whatever I can say about you. In confirming you, sufficient is the exaltedness of, were it not for you, I would not have created the cosmos. In praising you, sufficient are the surahs Taha and Yasin. How can this defective Sa'di describe you? May blessings be upon you, O Prophet, and peace. O God, you guide whomever you wish. Do not lead us astray. Do not let our hearts deviate after you have guided us by your benevolence and generosity and by the magnificence of your Prophet, the Prophet of mercy. Indeed, you are nearby. You are all hearing, and you answer those who call upon you, O you who are the most merciful of all. May your sustainer, the sustainer of exaltedness, be affirmed as transcending whatever can be said about him. And may peace be upon all divine messengers. All praise belongs to God, the sustainer of all worlds. May God send blessings upon the best of his creation, our Master Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and upon his pure and inerrant family at the beginning of all words and at their end. And upon you, may God send peace, his mercy, and his blessings. Thank you very much.
It is in the interest of the time that we should go to our next speaker and last speaker of this session, Haji Muhammad Hanif Tayyib. Haji Muhammad Hanif Tayyib hails from Pakistan. He has held numerous positions of authority and service to people. Special mention should be made of his being the Federal Minister for Petroleum, Housing and Labor of Pakistan. He is the Secretary General of Jamiyatul Ulama of Pakistan and Patron-in-Chief of Al-Mustafa Welfare Society of Pakistan. Because of his great concern about our youth, he founded the Anjumani Talebe-Islam, which now has developed to 800 branches throughout Pakistan. He is presently on a visit to